Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Yoa Creates, and today we're drawing an illustration. So I thought I'll start this new series of drawing 1 hour illustrations again. I think when I compare back to a couple of years ago when I started drawing and I was still busy, I would still be able to draw finished illustrations. Um, and I was like doing assignments and all the uni work and lab work. And I was just thinking back to that time and I was wondering why I'm not able to do so right now. And I thought maybe it's because my goals have been like too ambitious. So I decided to scale back and focus on just drawing for 1 hour and finishing some illustrations under 1 hour, just so that I have that sense of accomplishment every week. I feel like I need that right recently. I just feel pretty down and I feel like I have not accomplished anything. So I think these 1 hour illustrations are one way I can have consistent output on this channel while also having a sense of achievement. But that aside, I thought that I'm going to draw Castorice because the Castorice banner is ending, and I know I'm pretty late to the game, but I wanted to draw her for a while. It's just that Hoyo characters have so many details, and as I mentioned, that when I sit down to draw them, I just feel that I'm not doing justice because first thing, I don't have enough time to draw them, and second thing is that they just have so many details. I find myself getting a bit more demotivated because I can't draw a lot of things. Um, Maybe once my basic skill has improved and I'm able to draw anatomy with more confidence, one way to upskill would be to draw more details. But for now, I just thought that since I can't draw Hoyo characters in their original form, I'm just gonna take them and put them in a AU or alternate universe, if you know that word. One of the common alternate universes is a high school alternate universe, and I actually have a pretty solid story for a Genshin high school alternate universe. I call it the Genshin High series. I've never revealed it to the world yet because I just like to come up with fun theories on that part, but I never really drew anything on Genshin High. But when I was thinking about that and when I was thinking about me wanting to draw a Castorice illustration, I thought that maybe we should draw Castorice in a high school setting because I don't have a high school AU for Honkai Star Rail. And that was strange because I have a whole story for every Archon quest in Genshin, but set in a high school alternate universe. But I've never done that, even just as a fun exercise for Honkai Star Rail. But then again, most of the Honkai Star Rail story sometimes just goes over the top of my head. Maybe that's why. But anyway, coming back to the illustration. So my idea was that I'm not going to think about like the extended Honkai Star Rail high school alternate universe that I'm creating here, but I'm just going to think about Castorice in a high school setting. So the idea is that you know how Castorice is like Thanatos, and she is the bringer of death in the Amphorius quest. So I thought I'll keep that notion very strongly even in this high school setting. It's a bit tragic, I know, but just as how Castorice grows more confident by the end of the story and even revives the characters, I'm hoping that Castorice is going to grow as from a bringer of death to bringer of life character in this high school setting. But this particular illustration is focused on the initial part of the high school setting, where she would be considered as a bringer of death and feared by everyone in the high school. And partly one of the reasons is that Polixia is hanging around Castorice, unaware, and protecting Castorice from all the bullies. But Castorice doesn't know that, and I think she would figure it out over the course of the high school quest, I guess. And she will eventually bring peace both to Polixia and herself, and she would not be afraid of people after that. But this illustration, I just wanted to bring in that creepiness of people. Whenever Castorice is walking through the hallways, people are just going to be like, Shinigami, Shinigami, Shinigami. So I just was thinking about that, the constant whispers of people calling Castorice Shinigami or the death god. So I just wanted to keep that in my head while I was drawing this. The illustration itself is simple because I didn't want to draw the people. I just depicted them as blobs. I just used discovered gradient maps, and I think I used a noir gradient map to bring out that sinister vibe in the foreground, which is making Castorice feel uncomfortable. And I think that noir gradient map, which allowed me to use the red and black colors, seemed to be like a really good match for this purpose. And it was like making the whole mood of the illustration a bit more ominous, and you can see people being very suspicious. So I thought that was a nice touch, and then I just blurred it slightly so that we know that they are not the focus, but Castorice is the focus. Then I divided the background into half. So I wanted this image where Castorice was walking through the hallway and people keep whispering around her unpleasant words. And then you have this lighting coming from the background, indicating a very gloomy atmosphere. And Castorice is consumed by that darkness in this particular setting. As I said, I'm still brainstorming this alternate universe for her, and hopefully one day we will have a progression where she's going to have a happy ending. And I'm a sucker for happy endings, so most of my stories do have happy endings. I hope so. But then again, coming back to the illustration, I quickly sketched around Castorice's figure and did a quick line art. One thing about quick illustrations is that you don't want to redraw multiple times. You just want to do one or two passes at the sketch. Because I'm just doing it for a hobby, so I just figured I shouldn't stress too much about it and just have fun with it. So I just went with whatever anatomy I could, understand at this point. But even I know that the waist is too tiny and that's not good. But in the interest of completing the illustration, I just let it be. But if I can go back, I would definitely want to improve the anatomy because it's one of the important skills and I need to represent it. I want to learn how to draw different body types, but if I can't even draw basic anatomy, I think that's going to be a hard goal to achieve. Anyway, I quickly go in and I fill in the colors for the school uniform and block out like Castorice. Actually, I don't think I do a layer of shading in this one. Now that I think about it, maybe that would have added a bit more depth. But I just go around, add the colors. I don't do I don't really pick them directly from the illustrations, so the colors might be a little bit off. I just try to eyeball them, and because it's going to be a darker scene and I had a few layers of overlays on top of it, I do think that the colors were off, because when I showed the drawing to my sister, she was like, her hair is off, it's not the same color. And I'm like, nah, I think it's just the environment. So you guys tell me if you think I picked wrong colors, or if it's just the environment that was affecting the hair that way. I think one of the things which I regret intensely is the bag. You see me blocking in with the color, and I change it a little bit, but even till the end of the illustration, I'm still mad about it. I think that's the only thing which looks really off for me, and I really wish I did a better job of picking a better color over there. And now that I look at it, the hair, it seems like it doesn't flow that well. It's not natural, guys. I don't know how I messed up on hair, because recently I've been trying to learn how to draw hair. I come to accept that I really love drawing hair while I'm drawing characters. I just like that swoosh and swish. I don't know. I just like the hair flowing. I mean, it's the most fluid part of a drawing, and I really love that. Love drawing such fluid parts. I just like that fluidity, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I don't have enough words to discuss. So I just go in, block the color. I noticed an interesting thing. Castorice has this nice, beautiful gradient hair, and the gradient shifts every, I think, like between the two rubber bands, I guess, if I have to put it that way. So I tried to keep that, but I thought that was a really nice detail. So about the banner itself, I don't think I got Castorice. I tried. I lost my pity to Bronya. I'm not mad about it, because I do need Bronya constellations, but I just loved watching Castorice's animations altogether. So I was really hoping I could watch those animations on loop. Unfortunately, I would have to settle for watching animations by using Castorice as a support character. But I think they were so beautifully done. Even the 2D animation PV that played in between the quest. I also liked how the story was. I did confuse. I mean, it's still confusing for me. I don't really understand HSR, our conquest, so I have to go back and watch lore videos to figure out what exactly happened. But I'm going to wait until Amphorius is all over to figure out what happened in the quest. But so far I've been enjoying. I think that I'm going to do a separate video on the quests themselves. But I did fall in love with Castorice as the Archon quest progressed. She's such a gentle character, and her playstyle is also good. And I like healers, so I was very excited about the global passive she had. But unfortunately, she is not on my team, so I won't be able to use it. But maybe one day in the future, I will get her on a rerun banner, and that will still be fun. So one ad hoc thing I added at the end of the illustration, because I felt like it was very empty, and I did not like that people were just afraid of Castorice by herself. So I added this whole a ghost spirit form of Polixia. I don't think I got the details completely correct, because I wasn't using a reference at this point. I was really tired. Really, really tired by the end of it. I think I was drawing this at around 11:30 at night, and I was really tired. So I just went with whatever I could remember from the trailers and teasers and the game. So I just drew this very vague, fluid form of Polixia as a spirit, as a fox spirit or dragon spirit, however you want to look at it that way. I think I also was lazy when I was doing the rim lighting. But eventually, what I did was I just added a Gaussian blur to it. And then I figured out that, yeah, if I had a Gaussian blur, it's not going to matter. And anyway, I was going to overload it with some glow, add glow layers and add some airbrush glow, so that like the brightness of the window is going to show up and unify the picture a little bit. But and after adding Polixia, I think actually I add Polixia after I add my overlays. As you know, if you watch my previous videos, you might know that adding yellow and purple overlays are kind of become my thing over time. So that's what I do, and actually I bring those purple and yellow overlays to the top so that it unifies the whole picture, making sure that the entire picture is happening in the same environment. So once I do that, I just pick a color and just draw Polixia over there. And now I feel like it makes more sense that people are scared of Castorice, and unfortunately in the story as of now in my head, Castorice doesn't know that Polixia is there as a spirit. But that's pretty much it, I guess. One more thing I probably wished I would have added would be like a design to her stockings. I think in the in-game design for her stockings is so pretty with those butterfly cuts. But in the interest of time, I did not add them. But I think that would have been a nice touch. But that's the end. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with a new video soon. Bye bye.